Hey, Johannes here. Classic Fresh Anniversary Phase 3 has released, Blackwing Lair. This is an exciting time. Loads have been waiting for this moment and I can honestly say I'm here for it. A ton are making the decision if they are staying to play Classic WoW Fresh or if they are taking a break. I get these messages a lot while hosting 4 rosters in Classic WoW Fresh, and since then we had to go down to 3 of them because we want to keep the raids clean and fast. But has Classic Era gotten more attention since then? It seems there are a ton in the TBC waiting room on Classic WoW Fresh. They are preparing their characters, professions and gold for that. I see these players in my YouTube comments, for example, and they say they will not even step into any raid till the Burning Crusade. There's nothing wrong with it though. I'm also excited for TBC and hope they will unban GDKP. As last time I enjoyed TBC a lot while I was playing GDKP. The amount of issues it had with soft reserve and players just logging out after their item did not drop was a daily occurrence. With GDKP, things just worked better. I see this in Classic Fresh WoW now as well. There was a healer that messaged me that my requirements are too high and they did not feel enough rewarded performance-wise for having or popping them. Funny enough, what I asked was just mana pots for the healers and for the speedrun a flask with some dark runes. Or the I douse, heal or tank. Can I get double soft reserves of the DPS? Like no, we run a fair tight ship here. But I did get the point from these people. GDKP just gives everyone a reward at the end and soft reserve might not. Or you lose the role 10 times over and lose your consumable gold. To these players I say Classic Era does have what you're looking for. GDKP raiding is allowed and it is in phase 6. So many raids are out. A lot of players are hosting raids almost every day. Even the flask is the same price, which is kind of funny. I get not wanting to re-level their characters from 1 to 60 though, that takes a lot of time. There are not that many players leveling there, and even less boosters if that's your thing. You could swap your Classic Fresh Gold for Classic Era Gold and buy boosts to level up though, as gold swapping is allowed. Honestly, items are pretty cheap right now on the Classic Era, so if you have the time and gold for it, it will be well worth it. Just check discords of the GDKPs and the history, and if you want soft reserve runs, these are also still being hosted with people very geared. I got like 5 or 6 tier 3 in one soft reserve run. Tier 3 items are getting destroyed, and in Classic Fresh we are throwing a fit about losing a tier 1 item roll. Well, I do know it is totally different, but I expect that we will get copies to Era. So this means that any gear you get now on Fresh will get copied there at the end. So if you want to continue playing in Classic Era after with multiple characters, it might make more sense to level a character on Era already and get started rather than leveling on Classic Fresh, a new alt. Quick comparison. A year ago, all the gear cost almost 10 times as much on Classic Era than now on average. Total pots were 1 million or more, and now they are between 100 and 200k gold, depending if Gressel or THC drops. That is a huge difference, so take the advantage. I leveled 2 extra Horde warriors and got them pretty quickly geared in Classic Era. I'm just missing a few more items and having fun raiding on Era Horde. It is way different than Alliance. There are Zul'Gurubs and AQ20s every day, and honestly players have been really nice and welcoming. I recommend joining next Era pugs there or Druze pugs with many options for raiding times available. We'll leave a link to their Discord below. It's on Firemaw Europe. If you're an American, join us anyway. There are many that do already. I see many players returning to Classic Era, which is a good sign. If this continues, I will host more raids on Era once again. Right now we have 1 Nax on Sunday at 12 on Alliance, which has been going steady for over a year now. From 16 raids a week to 1, it is quite a downturn, but since then many things have changed. We were at the peak of WoW Classic and there was not much else to play during this high time. Rev was kind of played out and people were just waiting on Cataclysm. And if I remember correctly, players were waiting on a new retail expansion. Season of Discovery had not come out yet, but players were anticipating something new on the Classic WoW universe, like Classic Plus. Classic Anniversary Edition was very far out, so these things have not been good for the Classic Era community. If someone is burnt out of Season of Discovery or Classic Fresh, they aren't all of a sudden starting up Classic Era. Just let me ask you, the viewer, let me know in the comments, would you do this? If you can't be bothered playing Fresh or Sod, will you play Era? Sure, players can play both and that is fine, but all 3 is kind of too much. So once the Burning Crusade comes out and Season of Discovery is closed, I think many will return once again to Classic Era, as it will be the only Classic Era universe. For the Burning Crusade, Phase 1 is not much to do. Once you have your Prebis and killed Gruul plus Maglar, that is it with some PvP. Kind of like Phase 1 in WoW Classic Anniversary right now, with Molten Core except the Prebis, and maybe the gold farm takes way longer, plus PvP ranking is fun, and I guess leveling takes way longer. Hopefully the copies will come in World of Warcraft of 2025. So let's talk about summer. Summer is about to start in Europe. Usually when this happens, people rather go outside and enjoy the heat before it's eventually gone again. They want to go to the beach, maybe visit some cool countries in Europe, go on holidays, spend time with their family. This makes sense. Maybe they feel burnt out of Molten Core, which is sad, as to be honest, it is more like a dungeon right now. We cleared it in 29 minutes. The upper Blackrock Spire takes longer. Well, if TBC is eventually released and Season of Discovery is closed down during the winter, and we assume that copies are coming, this could mean that Classic Era might get very populated again with the winter and everyone back inside their homes. Sure, this will take time, and I'm not saying it's fully proof. We could just not get any character copies at all, but they've done it before, and I don't see a reason why not again. Anyways, Classic Anniversary and Classic Era future I feel is very bright, and I recommend showing an interest in both now if you have been skeptical and taking a break of either one. Mist of Pandaria is releasing soon. Many players will play this once the newness wears off, the expansion. What will people play instead in the winter? Classic Fresh, TBC and Classic Era. If you'd like to play both of these games with us, links are down below. Now go watch this video. I will see you in the next one.